Title: Unforeseen Desires, Jada's Unexpected Romance. Chapter 1, Echoes of the Heartache. Jada sat alone in the dimly lit corner of Club Serenade, nursing her martini and trying her best to drown out the heart-pounding bass of the music that vibrated through the room. The place was alive with energy, a cacophony of laughter, chatter, and the clinking of glasses. But despite the vibrant atmosphere, her thoughts remained in a melancholic place. She couldn't help but replay the painful memories of her recent breakup, a toxic relationship that had left her wounded, weak and weary. 6 years with a man who had taken more than he had given, leaving scars on her heart that she feared might never heal. She vowed never to let herself fall into a situation like that again.
"Another drink, miss?"
the bartender asked, his eyes filled with sympathy. Jada forced a faint smile.
"No, thanks. I think I've had enough to drink for tonight."
With a nod, the bartender moved on to other customers, leaving Jada to her thoughts. She glanced at her phone, hoping for a call or a message from her best friend, Angie, who had dragged her out to the club in an attempt to lift her spirits. But there was nothing. As she contemplated making her way home and calling it a night, a group of rowdy patrons stumbled past her table, nearly knocking down her martini. Irritation flared within her, and she muttered a few choice words under her breath. Just as she was about to stand up and exit the club, a warm hand gently touched her shoulder. Jada turned, ready to unleash her frustration on whomever had the audacity to lay hands on her, but the words died on her lips as her gaze met the most mesmerizing pair of hazel eyes she had ever seen.
"Sorry about that,"
the man said, his voice smooth and apologetic.
"My friends can get a bit wild at times."
Jada blinked, momentarily captivated by the stranger's charm. He was tall with a strong build, dressed impeccably in a black suit that accentuated his broad shoulders. His wavy black hair was perfectly brushed, and his smile had a hint of mischief that made her heart flutter.
"No problem,"
she replied, her irritation melting away.
"It's not your fault."
He extended a hand.
"I'm Will."
Jada hesitated for a moment, her past experiences making her wary of trusting too quickly. But something in Will's eyes drew her in, a sense of sincerity that was hard to ignore. She took his hand, her fingers tingling at his touch.
"I'm Jada."
Will's smile widened.
"Jada, that's a beautiful name. Do you mind if I join you?"
As much as Jada had come to the club to escape her troubles, Will's presence offered a refreshing distraction. She nodded, and he slid into the seat across from her, keeping his gaze firmly fixed on her with an intensity that made her heart race. For hours, they laughed and talked, their conversation flowing effortlessly. Will was a successful entrepreneur with an adventurous spirit and a passion for travel that Jada found intriguing. He listened to her stories of heartbreak and offered words of comfort and understanding that made her feel seen and heard in a way she hadn't in a long, long time. As the night wore on and the club's atmosphere grew more electric, Will leaned in closer.
"Jada, would you like to dance?"
It had been too long since the last time she had danced with anyone other than her ex-boyfriend, and the thought of swaying to the music with someone new was both exhilarating and nerve-wracking. She hesitated, her mind warring between caution and the desire to embrace this unexpected connection. Seeing her uncertainty, Will spoke softly.
"I promise, I'll be the perfect gentleman."
With a reluctant but genuine smile, Jada nodded.
"Okay, Will. Let's dance."
Chapter 2, A Dance of Intrigue. The dance floor pulsed with energy as Jada and Will moved to the rhythm of the music, their bodies swaying in harmony. It was as if the world outside the club ceased to exist, leaving only the two of them in a bubble of shared laughter and whispered secrets. Will's touch was gentle, his hand securely holding hers as they danced and spun. He looked into her eyes with an intensity that sent shivers down her spine.
"You're an incredible dancer, Jada."
She blushed, the compliment warming her heart.
"Thank you. I haven't danced like this in a very long time."
Will's expression softened.
"Well, I'm glad I could be the one to change that."
As the night wore on, Jada felt herself letting go of the pain from her past relationship. The connection she shared with Will was undeniable, and it was pulling her out of the darkness that had consumed her for far too long. For the first time in months, she allowed herself to feel hope. Their dance eventually led the two back to their table, where they continued to talk and share stories. Jada learned that Will had also experienced heartbreak in his past, and they bonded over their shared pain and the strength it had given them.
I never thought I'd meet someone like you tonight.
Jada admitted, her voice filled with gratitude. Will smiled, his hazel eyes holding a hint of vulnerability.
Sometimes, when we least expect it, life surprises us with something so beautiful.
As the club began to wind down, Jada realized how late it had become. She knew she should be heading home, but the thought of leaving Will left a sadness of regret in her heart. Will seemed to sense her hesitation.
Jada, can I see you again? Maybe we could grab coffee sometime.
Her heart skipped a beat at the thought of seeing him again. She had sworn off relationships for a while, but there was something different about Will that made her want to take a chance.
I'd like that, Will.
They exchanged numbers, and as Jada stepped out of the club and into the cool night air, she couldn't help but feel a sense of renewal. The toxic relationship of her past had left scars, but it hadn't taken away her ability to love and be loved in return. Will was a beacon of hope, a chance for a brighter future. Chapter 3, A New Dawn. One crisp autumn afternoon, as they strolled through a vibrant park, Will stopped by a serene pond. The sun cast a warm golden glow upon the water, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves on the trees.
Jada.
Will began, his voice carrying a note of sincerity.
There's something I want to tell you.
Jada turned to face him, her heart skipping a beat at the serious tone in his voice.
What is it, Will?
He took a deep breath and looked deep into her eyes.
I've fallen hard for you, Jada. I didn't expect it to happen, but you've brought light into my life, and I can't imagine this life without you.
Jada's heart swelled up with emotion. She had felt a deep connection with Will from the moment they met, but hearing him express his feelings made her heart race.
Will, I feel the same way.
With a smile that could melt even the coldest of hearts, Will leaned in and kissed her. Their lips met, and the world around them faded into oblivion. It was a kiss filled with promise, a kiss that symbolized the beginning of something new, something beautiful. Their romance blossomed, each day filled with laughter, shared dreams, and growing affection. Will introduced Jada to his closest friends, who welcomed her with open arms. She, in turn, introduced him to Angie, who couldn't help but smile at the newfound happiness radiating from her best friend. But as their relationship deepened, Jada couldn't help but feel a lingering fear in the back of her mind. She had been hurt before, scarred by a relationship that had once promised the world. What if history repeats itself? What if loving Will turned out to be a mistake? Chapter 4, Fears and Doubts. One evening, as Jada lay in her cozy apartment, her thoughts were consumed by doubt. She couldn't escape the memories of her past relationship, the deception, the pain, and the shattered trust. The wounds were still fresh, and she feared that they might poison the happiness she had found with Will. Angie, always the voice of reason, had noticed Jada's growing anxiety.
Jada, you need to talk to Will about this. He deserves to know how you're feeling.
Jada sighed, running a hand through her hair.
I know, Angie. But I don't want to ruin what we have. What if he thinks I don't trust him?
Angie sat down beside her, her expression gentle.
Will cares about you, Jada. He wouldn't want you to keep your fears and doubts bottled up. Communication is key in any relationship. If he truly cares about you, he'll understand.
Taking her friend's advice to heart, Jada decided to have an honest conversation with Will. They sat down one evening in her cozy living room, a soft jazz playlist playing in the background.
Will.
Jada began, her voice tinged with vulnerability.
There's something I need to talk to you about.
Will turned to her, his eyes filled with concern.
Of course, Jada. What's on your mind?
She took a deep breath, her heart pounding in her chest.
I've been hurt in the past, Will. My previous relationship was toxic, and it left me with scars. Sometimes, I can't help but let those fears and doubts creep into my mind, and I'm afraid it might affect what we have.
Will listened attentively, his expression filled with understanding.
Jada, I'm so sorry to hear that you've been through such a painful experience. I want you to know that I care about you deeply, and your happiness means the world to me.
Jada felt a sense of relief wash over her as Will continued.
I promise to do everything I can to show you that you can trust me. You don't have to carry those fears and doubts alone, and together, we can heal those scars.
Tears welled up in Jada's eyes as she realized the depth of Will's sincerity.
Thank you, Will. I want to believe in us, in what we have.
He reached out and gently wiped away her tears.
We'll take this one step at a time, Jada. I'm here for you, always.
Their conversation marked a turning point in their relationship, strengthening the bond they shared. Will's unwavering support and Jada's willingness to confront her fears and doubts allowed them to navigate the complexities of love together. Chapter 5, Loving the Right One. One beautiful evening, as they strolled hand in hand through a park bathed in the soft glow of the setting sun, Will stopped and turned to face Jada. They stood under a tree adorned with colorful leaves. The world around them became quiet and serene.
Jada,
Will said, his voice filled with warmth.
I've never been so sure about anything in my life. You are the love I've been searching for, the person who makes every day brighter.
Jada's heart swelled with emotion as she gazed into Will's eyes, feeling a deep connection that transcended her past heartache.
Will, I love you, too. You've brought so much happiness into my life, and I can't imagine a future without you.
Will reached into his pocket, revealing a small velvet box. He opened it to reveal a stunning diamond ring.
Jada, will you make me the happiest man in the world and be my partner for life?
Tears of joy welled up in Jada's eyes as she nodded, her heart pounding with love.
Yes, Will, 1,000 times yes.
They sealed their commitment with a passionate kiss, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the promise of a brighter future together. Their love had overcome the fears and doubts of the past, proving that sometimes, loving the right person could heal even the deepest wounds. Chapter 6, Life Together. Months passed, and Jada and Will's love only grew stronger. They faced life's challenges together, leaning on each other for support and finding solace in the unwavering trust they had built. Their love story became an inspiration to their friends and family, a testament to the power of healing and second chances. Angie, witnessing her best friend's transformation, couldn't have been happier. She stood by Jada's side as her maid of honor when Jada and Will exchanged their vows in a beautiful garden ceremony. Their wedding day was a celebration of love, filled with laughter, heartfelt promises, and the joy of beginning a new chapter together. Surrounded by loved ones, Jada and Will danced under the stars, their love story a testament to the resilience of the human heart. In the years that followed, Jada and Will faced life's ups and downs with grace and unwavering love. They built a life together filled with adventure, happiness, and the comfort of knowing they had each found the one they were meant to be with. Jada often looked back on that fateful night at Club Serenade, where she had met Will and taken a chance on love once more. It had been a journey of healing, growth, and the discovery that sometimes, loving the wrong person was simply a path to finding the right one. And as they held hands, watching the sun set on another beautiful day, Jada and Will knew that they were indeed loving the right person, and their hearts were forever intertwined in a love story for the ages. The end.